one that I just love and I just cry every time is Love Actually.
Oh,
It's just
it's
just
a perfect film.
It's just so good.
Who's before Jim Carrey?
So there was an animated movie called The Grinch Who Stole Christmas from a Dr. Seuss book.
I've done some really out there ones. I've done some more raunchier ones. One of the last ones I did, my poor parents watched that.
Kind of all of the wish fulfillment type movies. I think of the 80s and 90s as well. Splash, Big, 13 Going on 30. Elf was definitely up there.
I feel like I'm getting to know them through the movie. I feel like they're my best friends. I think everybody feels that because they're funny, right?
They are funny.
But you really worked with them.
Those women that you ate were laced with THC.
You're kidding, right? Tell me that you're kidding.
Just standing there. You should say something.
This is Jack.
I was a snowman.
That's not good. The coveralls and the boots. Did you steal them?
Yes. Man went streaking in front of poor Ethel Jennings. Hi there.
Starting with you, it's obviously the second Netflix Christmas film you've done, and it's quite different in many ways from Falling for Christmas. So I wondered, was that something you deliberately wanted to approach the kind of Christmas film in a slightly different way this time?
Yes, definitely. Falling for Christmas was more fun. It was a lot more whimsical, I would say. And after Irish Wish, I wanted to do something that was a bit more mature character-wise and relatable in different ways. So that's why I fell in love with this story. And it's Christmassy, but it's not like Christmas in your face, which I also like. It's not like Christmas overload, which is great, Christmas overload. But there was more of a balance of a real story behind it.
Yeah, definitely. Kristen, you've recorded a few Christmas albums and stuff. So was kind of doing a Christmas movie something you'd been wanting to do? And it must have been great because Erica seems like such a fun character to play in this one.
She's so fun. I mean, in the South, we call these passive-aggressive comments, we call them kind swipes. And I enjoyed that part. And this is my 8th holiday film. So yeah, I enjoy them. I don't, if the rest of my career I only did holiday things, that would be fine with me because I love this time of year and I love what it means, so.
That's amazing.
And what would you say was kind of different about this one than some of the previous ones you've done?
I mean, I like this. It's like what Lindsay said. I've done some really out there ones. I've done some more raunchier ones. One of the last ones I did, my poor parents watched that. But this one is a good balance of being able to sit down with your family and watch this movie and all together, and more realistic than some of the ones I've done. Just more, like she said, more mature.
Dustin, I'll start with you because I imagine it can't be very often you get sent a script asked to play a sexy snowman. So I wondered, what was your reaction to first reading that script?
For me, it was pretty apparent basically within the first 5 pages, the amount of physicality that would be involved with this character and like physical comedy that I was like, this was such a challenge in so many ways because I just had to give in to the uninhibited nature of this guy who's basically born into the world brand new after having been a snowman. Not even very long was he even a snowman. And he just sort of enters into the world and meets Kathy and is sort of drawn into her world and is learning from her. And there was just such a sense of play and joy when I read this script that I had to be a part of it.
And Lindsay, you've been in quite a few Christmas films now. So what was it about this one that you think is maybe a little bit different to some of the ones you've been in before?
I loved all of the magical elements of this one. Obviously Jack is this snowman who magically comes to life, and there's such a whimsical thing to that. And I love that the community completely buys into it. There's a lot of humor in it, and there's a really sweet, heartfelt storyline in it as well that I think is relatable to a lot of people. And so it just felt like the movie that offered a little bit of everything, and it just brings the comfort of the holiday season.
Yeah. And the character in some way reminded me of another Christmas classic, Elf, in that it's, looking at the world with this kind of slightly kind of innocent view and finding out about the human world for the first time. I wondered if you looked to that film at all for inspiration, Dustin, or any other kind of characters.
Yeah, I mean, Elf was definitely one of the first things that popped in my head. And then kind of all of the wish fulfillment type movies, I think of the 80s and 90s as well. Splash, Big, 13 Going on 30. Elf was definitely up there. And then I was also looking at a lot of the physical work of Charlie Chaplin, Buster Keaton. It was just an amalgamation of all those things that I was, as much as possible, trying to remember, like, what would they be doing in these situations? And that is basically absolutely anything at any given moment in a completely unpredictable way.
Start with you, Christina, because you've been in a few Christmas films over the years.
Yeah.
So what was it about this one that kind of really appealed to you and kind of took you in a new direction?
Well, I think there was something really special about this one. Every time I do a rom-com or I do a Christmas film, there has to be a sense of magic. It has to feel different from anything I've done already before. And I just felt like there were so many building blocks that were like, it was so inclusive, there was music. I think it had every element that it needed to be a successful Christmas movie. So that's why I chose this one.
Yeah, good answer. And Deval, what about for you? What was it kind of that stood out to you about
To be honest, it was the same thing. It was just every aspect leading up to the conclusion of the film seemed classic. You know, you watch all of these classic Christmas films and you remember those specific scenes. It seemed like every scene in this movie was a specific scene that had the potential to be classic. So I was like, I just want to be a part of it. And it turned out to be classic. It's been great so far.
And obviously crucial to the film are pentatonics, who play a big part in the plot and also appear themselves. What was it like working with them for the movie? Were you fans of their music and their work yourselves?
Well, I was definitely aware of pentatonics. I've had a lot of friends actually go to their Christmas shows before, and I think they're super talented. And the fact that this was kind of built around the story, around the pentatonics, and trying to get these tickets to this big Christmas show, it just only made sense because I know people who really like it. Annually, they go to their Christmas show, and it's a big deal for their family. So meeting them, I mean, they're just the sweetest, most coolest people. And as I've gotten, like, the movies come out, like, I feel like I'm getting to know them through the movie. I feel like they're my best friends. I think everybody feels that because they're funny, right?
They are funny.
But you really worked with them.
I did, and the funny thing is they really do the stuff that they do on camera. Like, you'll be talking to them just like this, and they'll be like, Christmas love story, and they'll all be in a better tune than I'm in right now. But it's just like crazy. How did y'all know y'all were gonna do that? It was exciting.
Yeah.
Britt, if my research is correct, this is your first time doing a Christmas movie. So I was wondering what it was about this particular project that appealed to you, and was this something you'd been looking to do, this genre?
Yes. For me, when I read this script, I was very excited about the holiday element, especially since there was stripping involved. Because ever since I've been an adult, I've loved being just like around sort of like-minded people, being merry, excited to participate, and a little burlesque. I love going to a little burlesque bar on a Christmas. I just think that's, for me, it spoke to me. And I was like, time to get just set up with my holiday film career.
Let's get married.
Let's get married. Gentlemen.
Yes. And Chad, as one of the merry gentlemen of the film's title, what were the kind of highlights for you in doing the choreography and learning some of the kind of burlesque routines that you do in the film?
It was a bit of work. As you can imagine. Honestly, it was something that I was excited about because I was terrified. And anytime you can learn a new skill, it means you're challenging yourself. And that's what I really wanted. I wanted the opportunity to challenge myself, do something that frightened me as an actor. I think we always want to push ourselves just a little bit every time you do something. Sometimes it's not always easy. The text doesn't always provide that for you. But this one, I had the opportunity. To go and push myself and do something I've never done before and do it half naked. So fun. And to be honest, the byproduct that I never expected is how much I'd fall in love with dance. Like, what a great, enjoyable sport.
I love dance. And I think it speaks to sort of the festivities of I guess that's what I was trying to say with the burlesque. Like, for me, Christmas really, it's like a dance, it's a parade, it's a celebration. So finding that spirit helps me get there emotionally.
Yeah, Ian, what's your background when it comes to Christmas films? My research tells me that you were in a short Christmas film a few years ago, but is this your kind of first feature-length Christmas film?
I did, I've done a few Christmassy things. This one, I think, is the first sort of more grounded Christmas movie, where I think the very first one I did involved like ghosts and me talking to said ghosts, and it was a great time, and I had so grateful for it. But this one felt a little bit more like I would find myself in this situation, you know, if I were, you know, again, not married for so long, but like, you know, so I really loved that sort of, you know, you get like the nuances and the groundedness of it, and it was just sort of fun to play in that sandbox.
I like asking everyone what your own favorite Christmas movies are. Ones that you either grew up a lot when you watched a lot, when you were growing up, or ones that you watch every year now. Do you guys all have kind of staple Christmas films that you love to rewatch?
One that I just love and I just cry every time is Love Actually.
Oh,
It's just
it's
just
perfect film.
It's
So
just
good.
so good.
Yes.
It's so good. And it makes you want to go to spend Christmas in England, in
I want
London.
to go
Yeah.
book a
specifically.
flight tomorrow.
Yeah. But Love Actually is one of my favorites. And now we're back to like the cartoon ones at my house because of my son.
Yes.
Isn't there
So
like a
we'll do
Muppet
Rudolph
Christmas
and Snowman.
Yeah. All those animated ones.
The
Yeah.
OG ones are special. Frosty the Snowman.
That's what I show him.
Yeah,
the
I
old
love
school
those.
ones.
Mine's Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase, but that's
That
I'm
one's funny,
aging
too.
myself, but those are just a good comedy one.
I want to move more into like the very funny like claymation ones, because
Those
when
are
I
the
was-
good ones.
Those are the good ones. When we were
Yes.
growing up, I don't know why my dad did this, but he really loved, not to blame him, because I think he thought that we liked it. We would watch the George C. Scott Christmas Carol.
Oh, which is a real
Oh,
uplifter.
yeah. Oh, Miracle on 34th
Oh.
Street is another one of mine.
Yeah,
the
that's
best.
it. Yeah.
The best.
So we need more uplifting, less like heavy drama that's also partly a horror film. Like, I mean, it's so I'm happy to move away from that tradition and move more into like, you know, the snowman ones.
Yeah, I also quite enjoyed the little Mean Girls reference, which is in there. Lacey, did you enjoy kind of that little moment, that little throwaway
course.
joke?
Yes, I thought it was really fun, and I thought it would be fun for the audience to see. And Lindsay and I have known each other since we were kids, acting in New York together as kid actors, and it's so nice how our paths continue to cross.
Yeah, what would you say are the kind of main ingredients that you do want to see in a Christmas film? I mean, obviously it doesn't need to be the same every time, but what do you think are the ones that really kind of need to be in there?
I think it's the traditions, you know, whether it's cookie decorating, snowball fight, decorating the Christmas tree, getting the Christmas tree.
I also think there's just
morning.
there's something about too, like there's always a little bit of that magic, you know what I mean? That sort of, there's like a hopefulness, like maybe things aren't going to work out, and then they always kind of, I think because of, you know, family and friends coming together, there's that little bit of magic in the air that sort of makes everything okay regardless of the outcome. I think that's sort of what I look for in a Christmas movie. And we definitely have that in spades here at Hot Frosty.
Yes, we do.
Do you guys have any of your own Christmas traditions like that of, you know, going to the concert every year or something like that? Do you have things that you have to do every year, or it's not Christmas?
What do you have?
Our family, I'm from New York, Brooklyn originally. Shout out to Brooklyn, what's up? But our family every year goes down to Radio City and we go look at the tree. Of course, the tree has to be lit and we do all of the family things. We take pictures every year. And it's the same looking picture, except the kids are a little bit taller. But we do it, so it's fun.
Yeah. And we have a new tradition. I have a 3 and a 4-year-old, and my daughter, she's 14. But my husband, he's French, and so the last maybe 3 or 4 years, we've been going to his hometown during the holidays, and it's like a Christmas town. It's called Strasbourg, and
Wow.
it's literally like they have a huge Christmas market. It's the place you want to go for Christmas. It's like it's a dream. I'm
Your
surprised we
life is
didn't
a
make a movie
rom-com.
there. It is.
It's quite funny because often when I speak to actors who are in Christmas films, you know, you find out that they weren't actually filmed over Christmas and were filmed over summer.
Yeah.
Was that the case for this one? When was it filmed? Did you
yeah.
get into the Christmas spirit anyway?
Oh yeah, it was definitely filmed. It was filmed in April, which is
April.
around my birthday,
Yeah.
which is hilarious because, you know, April is a time where it's the warmest in a lot of places.
Yeah.
But we were in Canada, it was still a little cool. They
Yeah.
were able to make it look like New York at times, so it felt very Christmassy.
Yeah.
Only time it wasn't was I had them layers on.
And
it was
what?
hot.
And it was
And I had the flannels and the flannel with the layers, and I was like, I'm sweating like
Yeah.
crazy, and I'm supposed to be cold.
But it was Toronto, which is good. At least it wasn't like you may be on somewhere on the west side. It felt a little
Oh.
bit more like city life.
Yeah.
And it felt close enough to us that it felt a little more East Coast cold. The weather's definitely different East to West Coast. So.
But there was one day that it was like a snowstorm
Yeah, there
for about
was.
15 minutes.
Random in April, yeah.
Random snowstorm, and that felt Christmassy.
Yeah.
They must have known you were shooting it. The weather gods must have known you were shooting a Christmas film.
And we were shooting outside. It was the scene
Yeah.
at the Chanel store. We were shooting outside, so it
Oh,
actually
that was
looked
cold.
beautiful.
It was rain.
Yeah.
It was everything.
It was everything.
My hair
that
was,
day.
if you look, sometimes my hair is like frizzy and big, and then they would fix it real quick, and then it'd puff right back up. So yeah. But yeah, that was like the first week that we shot
Yep.
at the Chanel store.
I was nervous.
And there was really snow outside. He's absolutely right. I forgot about that.
I'm interested. You know, a lot of people have their favorite Christmas film, and maybe this is going to end up being some people's favorite Christmas film. But what for you two, each of you, has been your favorite film, either growing up or now or into adulthood? What would you say is a Christmas film that stayed with you over the years?
I love The Grinch. I love The Grinch.
Which version?
The Jim Carrey version.
Oh, he's good.
Wait, what's the other version?
Oh God.
Wait, there's a one before that?
I think
Hold on.
There's been a animated
Hold
one
on, I'm
as
just
well.
going to take a minute.
Who's before Jim Carrey?
So, there was an animated movie called The Grinch Who Stole Christmas from a Dr. Seuss book.
Oh yeah. What? Okay, whatever.
And he
You know.
shrieks and he says across there, and it's there's a the song.
Right, but
You're rotten. Anyway.
Thank you, Mr.
Sorry, I had to bust your balls for a minute. Yes,
I mean, that's
the one.
crazy. There's really no other version than the Jim Carrey.
If you were talking live action, there's no question.
double hate, loathe entirely. Remember that line? Incredible line.
Unbelievable film. Unbelievable film. Unbelievable performance. Should have gotten a nomination.
Agreed.
Underrated, genuinely. The amount of work that must have gone in.
The Grinch.
I have two, because I can't give one. It would be It's a Wonderful Life, because I think it's a perfect film. And Christmas Vacation, because everybody can identify with somebody there.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting.